Hey guys! Today I'm going to show you how I do really quick but still sort of successful makeup using really affordable makeup, perfect for like work or school. I can do this makeup in like 5 minutes before I go for the bus in the morning, so hopefully this will help you for when you want to look decent but really quickly. I'm starting with the eyes because for me that's the most important, and if I end up having to leave before I'm finished, then at least I have my eyes done. Okay, so names for all of these products will be in the description, and I'm just putting this concealer all the way around my eyes. If you're gonna conceal anywhere, then I would say the most important place is around your eyes because it really helps you look more awake really quickly. And the brightness of the concealer also draws the attention to your eyes rather than like the rest of your face. I'm doubling the concealer up because I really want to hide the darkness there. Then I'm using a sponge, wet or dry, it doesn't really matter, to blend it out because it's just so much faster than using your fingers to blend it out. Then I'm using loose powder to set that and make sure it stays put all day. That's another thing about this makeup, you probably will need very little touch-ups. I never touch up at all because I just don't have time for that shiz, but I never really need to anyway. I don't know why I'm doing those faces, I keep doing it, I'm so sorry, I don't know why. This next step isn't essential, so if you are late then skip this step, but I'm just taking a big eye brush and a neutral shadow and I'm just sort of slapping that all over my lid. The next eyeshadow I'm going to use is this one, which I find lasts all day for definite, so I really recommend this one. And you might think that this is like unnecessary to put this eyeshadow in my crease, but I actually find that it does make such a big difference to how my eyes look in the end, which is why I do actually spend some of my precious time doing this. The next one is eyeliner. The easiest eyeliner to put on nicely, really fast, I would say is definitely felt tip liners. They might not be the most pigmented, but they are definitely the fastest. Or you can just skip eyeliner altogether, but fortunately for me, I can do my eyeliner pretty fast. Now I'm curling my lashes, which of course is another optional step. And then I'm using waterproof mascara. I just find that waterproof mascara, no matter what brand it is, tends to come off a lot less than regular mascara does. A decent cheap waterproof mascara is the Natural Collection one, by the way. I just find that if it's waterproof then it tends to crumble and smudge a lot less. So again, it means less touch-ups throughout the day. And then I just put a tiny bit on my lower lashes. By the way, a way to make your lashes bolder really quickly is to stroke the wand downwards because it means that it coats the tips really well. So that might save you some time instead of having to do loads of layers of mascara. If you just stroke it down, then it'll quickly make the ends really sort of prominent. My application is so messy because I was really struggling to see what I was doing in the viewfinder, so I'm sorry. Anyway, if you can't survive without doing anything to your eyebrows, then I think the quickest way to get a good sort of impact really fast is to use an eyebrow gel or like mascara type thing, because it makes your eyebrow hairs like darker or more bold, and it also makes them stay in place with just like a few swipes of the brush, so it's really quick. The one I'm using is actually a brown mascara, but I'm using it just to demonstrate because I don't have an eyebrow gel proper thing. But look at me go, it still looks good, right? I don't usually use this, I usually just use a clear one. The last thing is lips. I'm putting lip balm on first, and I'm going to recommend that you don't use anything too heavy or a matte lipstick, etc., because they're really sort of time consuming and they can be difficult to maintain throughout the day, because if it starts to come off then it'll be sort of really obvious because you'll have like a line around your lips, and then also sometimes it can really sink into the lines in your lips. It's just a lot more difficult to maintain and do touch-ups and stuff like that. Lip liners tend to be pretty long lasting, but they also take a while to apply, which is why I would recommend using a tinted lip balm, because it doesn't look bad when it starts to wear off throughout the day, and you can fix it pretty simply by just like putting another bit of a layer on. If the colour payoff isn't good enough for you, however, then I suggest something which is like semi-matte or like a satiny finish, because they'll dry down a little bit, which will make it sort of last quite a while, but if it does wear off then it's much easier to solve than a full-on matte lip. When I go to college, this is where I leave it, because I find that doing anything else with my skin is difficult to keep looking good throughout the day, and by the end of the day the makeup on my skin is doing more bad for me than it does good, if that makes sense. I will say if you have oily skin then you might want to just put powder on, or you might want to use just a primer to help your skin texture without putting any like colour on, without masking your skin. There are a lot of primers with different purposes, like to brighten your skin or mattify your skin or pore erase, so you could find one that helps with whatever your skin issues are, help improve it without having to spend ages blending out a foundation or anything like that. I would say that concealing spots, etc., when you're in a rush ends up sort of highlighting the fact that you have them more than it does hide it. There's hardly anyone in school who has nice skin, so it's just kind of pointless pretending that you do. But if you do really want to conceal, then I would just dot it on wherever you need it, on like the redness, and I also dot it on my nose a bit because that's pretty dark. And then I just sort of swipe and dab to blend it out with the sponge. I think that concealers are way less time consuming and way easier to maintain than foundation is. I suppose you might want to use like a BB cream or something similar, but concealer I find just tends to look okay even when it starts to come off throughout the day, whereas foundation I think can get nasty really fast. Anyway, then I powder so that it doesn't all melt off my face straight away. I usually wouldn't bronze, but I know a lot of you boys and girls will like to, so if you are going to bronze, I would just lightly go around the perimeter of your face, just to bring some of the shadow back into your face and make it look a little bit smaller. After concealing my face, it kind of brightens my face and makes it look a bit bigger, so this step can actually be pretty handy to bring that depth back. Powder blushes are probably the quickest blush to use rather than a cream or anything like that, so I'd recommend going for a powder blush. You might have noticed I'm using the same brush for everything on my face. This brush is so versatile, so it's really good because you don't have to keep swapping between brushes and wasting more time. I got this brush from Pound World, I think, and this highlight as well is £1 from Essence. And I'm using, again, that fluffy brush to apply it, so it's a very subtle glow for this look, but you can definitely get this highlight really intense. And I'm just putting that in all of the usual places on the like high points of my face. I would highly recommend using a setting spray, especially if you have done the face makeup, because it will help it last a lot longer, which is great because I find it really difficult, as I've said before, to keep face makeup looking really good. I would still rather just distract people away from my skin by putting more effort into my eyes, rather than trying to hide all the imperfections on my skin. But anyway, as always, there are no rules. Although, to be honest, if you're in a school, there might be rules. I wasn't allowed to wear makeup in school, but I did anyway. So yeah, I hope this helped, and that's it. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!